So again, welcome to mobility and flexibility. We'll start off with some facial exercises, stretches, and work our way down. We'll start initially with the exercises where we start on the chair, and then we'll work our way down to some standing exercises, and then we'll do some on the floor as well. And before we finish, like around 11:10, I'll stop and I'd like to share a video. And the video is to work on sciatic nerve stretches. So we want to make sure, I know that's an issue sometimes that we do have, so we want to make sure that we touch on that, just get a little bit more education on that. So if you guys don't have any questions, we'll get started. So again, let's start off with our facial exercises. So these are the fun ones. Share on my list here. Okay. Very good. So again, let's look down, open our mouth. We're gonna look up and shut our mouth, and then that should feel a nice stretch going. Okay, so let's go open our mouth. And let's bring that chin up towards our nose so we can close that long neck, work on those muscles and the skin underneath our neck. So we'll do about 12 of those. So look down, open your mouth, and close it. Look down, wide open, look up, and shut your mouth. So you can feel that stretch there. Okay, again, if we have a little bit of skin that's just hanging on this side, the stretch definitely helps with that. Right. I have locked my jaw doing this stretch before, so if you feel like it's getting a little tight, just be careful. Do a few more. All right, very good. Okay, next we're just gonna inhale through our nose and exhale through our mouth. We should feel our diaphragm expanding. Okay, and right now we're just inhaling and exhaling, trying to get a nice controlled breathing pattern. Okay, we'll start. So now we're gonna go ahead and puff up our cheeks with air. So let's inhale, keep air in our cheeks, and we're just gonna palpate just around our cheeks. So make sure you have air in your cheeks, they're puffed up. You just want to massage your cheeks, just get a little bit of blood flow in that area. Might do the video after we're done with the sitting down stretches, so we could have a little intermission break. I might start doing that with these classes. All right, now we're going to draw lines from the end of our eyelids, well, the end of our eyes to the end of our lips. All right, now from the bottom of our earlobes to the end of our lips. I usually use my pointing finger and my middle finger. All right, very good. Okay, now we're gonna inhale. About 3 to 5 seconds, inhale, and then we're gonna exhale through a little gap within our lips, okay? So just make a little hole between your lips. Inhale. Really feel that core tightening up. let's do 2 more. Last one. Let it all out. Do that core really tighten up. All right. Hopefully no one's passed out. All right, now we're going to start with some neck stretches. Okay. So you're just going to start gently, just looking left to right. The slower you do it, the better. You might pull something if you move too fast. And if you're doing it slower, then you might have a little bit of room near that final point to maybe continue stretching a little bit more. Once you feel like you can't stretch or turn any longer, just try to stretch a little bit more. Control your breathing. Up and down now. All right. Good. Next circle, so just gently around our shoulders. I said directions. Okay. All right. Now with our left hand, we're gonna sit on it with our left thigh. Okay, and then we're gonna grab our left side with the right hand, and we're just gonna let the weight of our arm stretch on that left side of our neck. Just relax your breathing. Make sure that torso is not moving with your neck. That torso should be upright. All right, let's switch sides. And these stretches, you just want to hold for about 20 to 30 seconds. And now we're gonna just grab the hind part of our hand and then just down. All right, very good. Yep. Now we're gonna do some neck retractions, okay, which is just keeping our shoulders back, but we want to bring our neck and our head forward and back. All right, very good. All right, we're just gonna work our way down. We did our jawline stretch, neck retractions, and drop. Okay, so now we're just gonna go ahead and start with our, our shoulders. Yeah, their shoulders. Just gonna start off here. Just pull back. It's a trash day. You're hearing all that sound? It's just the trash. Got to take the trash out last week, so it's a lot this week. All right, now we're gonna bring our arm close to our throat. Maybe we should do that stretch a little bit more on this side. Relax. Go with the left arm now. Okay, let's bring that arm a little bit closer to our throat. That's all right, very good. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna continue with the chair exercises. So again, we do want to work on some flexibility as well. So we're just gonna do some bicep curls with no weight. We're just doing the movement. Make sure you're extending all the way. And then one arm at a time. So some book openers or door openers here. And switch sides. Okay, we're gonna work on our back. Now, so we're gonna do the cat scratch. So imagine again a giant pulse here. We're just trying to fall at it. Just get a nice stretch in your back. Make sure your hips, your glutes don't come off the chair. And let's do one more. All right. Okay. All right. Now we're just gonna work on some wrist movements. Okay. So just gonna keep the wrist just overhanging just past the knee, and we're just gonna go some forearm curls, some wrist curls. So pretty much just bringing my wrist towards, I guess, from the bottom position to the up position, just flexing it. if you place your hand on your forearm, you should feel those muscles elongating, shortening. And then now we're gonna flip it upside down, have it downwards, and then just the same movement. And now we're looking at the back of our hand, lower palm. Now you should feel those muscles on the top side activating a little bit more. All right, and then we're just gonna work our thumbs towards the center of our palm. And let's close our, make a fist. Relax, release it. And again, we'll close and open about 6 times. We'll try to close with all your might and then open as well with all your might. All your strength. And watching too many superhero movies. So. All right, let's go with the other wrist. So again, just flexing up and down. Feel that forearm activating. And switch, rotate it. This just pops a little bit more for me. Not sure if you guys are feeling some sensation where something's rubbing funny or it doesn't hurt, but definitely something rubbing with each other. All right, let's bring that fingers towards the center of our palm. Let's make a fist. Relax. Fist. Relax. All right. Very good. Okay. All right, we're just gonna open up our back a little bit. So I just want you to bring your arms behind you. Relax. Yeah. Try to feel this in your chest too. Let's do about 3 more of these. Last one. Right, now we're gonna do the opposite. Now we're gonna hug ourselves, okay? So just give yourself a big hug. So you love yourself so much. So big squeeze. So by stretching out your arms to the front of your body, your back stretching. All right. Better there. All right. Okay, so now we're just gonna go with some high knee marches. Here in our chair. And we're gonna do some knee extensions. So I'm gonna just keep my leg elevated here, just my right leg. And I'm gonna extend that bottom segment of my leg. And initially I heard 2 little pops, so sometimes early in the morning, that's where you'll be the tightest. So if you haven't, like today I slept in, I had a long night. So I woke up around 8 today, which is definitely sleeping in. So I haven't done too much walking, and right now I noticed that my knees just buckled a little bit. So I don't know if that's a sign of aging. Right? That didn't happen before. Okay. All right, and then now we're gonna do the second leg, left leg, same thing. I think I need some WD-40 on these knee joints. Okay. All right, now we're gonna hold on to the back side of our chair. I'm gonna scoot over a little bit just so my hips have a little bit more mobility. So I'm almost sitting on the edge of my chair. I'm gonna have a straight leg, and then just lift up and down. Okay, so that leg remains straight. And I'm not touching the floor. All the movement's happening right here, okay? That hip joint is what's causing this movement to activate. I shouldn't be seeing this here. Okay, it should just be up and down. And switch sides. Let's do about 3 more. This leg is getting more tired than my first one. Right leg. Okay. All right. Okay, we're gonna go with some hip openers. And for this, we're gonna go out, and I want you to hold it here for about 5 seconds. So from this position, out as much as you can without turning your torso towards it. Okay. Make sure that torso stays facing the screen. Let's hold it here. If you want, you can even push your hand against it so you can feel a little bit more of a stretch. It's almost like the same motion. Like if I have you do this motion here with your wrist, that's as far as you go. But if you pull back, it's a little bit more of a stretch. So we're looking for that same little extra stretch on this position here. So we could just hold it a little bit more and relax. Let's go with the left leg. And we're going to repeat this about 3 times on each leg. Better side class today. 6 Debbie and I live. And the 6 legs. I'm noticing the backrest of this chair was blocking my stretch a little bit, so I need to come forward a little bit. All right, switch. We'll just do this last one and we'll move on right now. So again, this leg is facing forward, trunk is facing forward. I'm just pushing halfway. All right, relax. All right, quick water break, and then we'll continue. So we've got some water. All right. Okay, now we're gonna go the remaining stretches that we have on the chairs. So next one, we've done some of my favorites. It's a Piriformis stretch. So we're just gonna bring the right heel over that left knee. And we're gonna lean over that knee so we can stretch that piriformis in that area. Not really stretching. This is one to eliminate, and you'll see in the video, this is one of the stretches that he'll mention, but this is a stretch that, stretches the piriformis, which if you have it tight, or if there's not a lot of flexibility, it could squeeze that sciatic nerve. So we want to keep it healthy. All right, now we're going to bring that knee towards our chest. I like this one more than the pushing down on it. Right, switch. So left leg now, left ankle over that right thigh. Lean on that left knee. All right, let's bring that left knee up towards your chest while keeping that ankle in position. We'll transition from the chair to the floor exercises and then the standing ones. But before we transition to the floor, we'll watch that quick video. It's about 7 minutes long, but it's about different stretches for the sciatic nerve too. Okay, all right, now we're gonna make our way down to the lower segment of our legs, which is our calves and our ankles and our arches. Okay, so we're just gonna, very steep ankle. We're just gonna bring our heels up into different heels up off the ground. Do about 15 to 20 of these. You could just speed it up a little bit too. Again, we're just looking for the movement. Stretching out the Achilles tendon as well. And now we're going to have our heels making contact with the floor, and now we're keeping our feet on the floor, but we're tapping with our toes. Okay, so our toes are coming off the ground, up and down. Let's try to keep those toes elevated. Let's just hold it. Stretching out that anterior tibialis muscle. And relax. One more. Keep them up. All right, so if you can, I forgot to mention, but if you have a small little rag, go ahead and grab that. I have mine here. So we're just gonna do some exercises with our arches. So if you have a small rag, or if you have carpet, maybe a plastic bag will work. But pretty much what we're gonna do is probably better from the angle here. We're gonna just scrunch up and relax, scrunch, relax. So my heel stays in place, but my toes are gripping that towel and bringing it closer to the heel. And then I want to separate as well. Come back. And it's pretty much you're trying to bring it over, then separate. Should feel that calf lengthening and shortening as well. We're really focusing on those arches. Okay, we're going to go with the left leg or left arch. Same movement. And definitely have less control of this arch. Not sure if because it's a non-dominant side, but I feel like I struggle a little bit more on this side. All right, very good. All right, now we're going to do some pickups with the towel. So again, we're going to grip, lift, make sure that you're gripping, and then you're going to drop. You're going to fix the rag, the towel. Once you've done that, you're going to pick up, drop. Again, we want to fix the rag. We're going to do about 6 of these per arch, okay? So if you're having a hard time doing these, just keep at it. Maybe the towel's a little bit too thick, or maybe our arches don't have that strength yet, but we'll get there. Yeah. So you want to pick up, drop, and then again fix your arches. Last one. Good. Right, switch sides. Flat. I always have a hard time with this one. I could barely grip this one. Using all my strength. And sometimes it just, right now it just fell on its own. Instead of have less control. So, I said it's okay if we can't fully grip it with one arch or with our toes, but just keep at it. And if you do have plantar fasciitis, which is the inflammation of your arches, this is definitely a stretch you want to do. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, we'll start with our ABCs before we go to the golf ball or the small bottle that we've used before. We're going to do our ABCs right now. Please to just do the alphabet like one ankle at a time. All right, switch sides. So again, ABCs. We have a few more, and then we're going to go into a video. All right. Okay, so we have, oh, yep, just grab your little ball. Okay, have a little rugby ball here. I'm just throwing my arches on that. Again, I know this is the only time of the week where we do this. But again, if you're flat-footed, if you feel like your arches are pretty weak and you're struggling gripping that rag, you know, maybe keep a small golf ball on your couch, maybe when you're watching a movie or TV, and then just place it there and then just, you know, go at it maybe about, you don't have to do too much, maybe about a minute on each foot, like every other hour or so. You know, this doesn't demand a lot of effort. And it does help out your arches, especially if your arches are really tight, or if you happen to wear high heel shoes. All right, let's find a spot where it's a little bit tender on our arch, and then let's push down on it. Six sides. Make sure you're rolling all the way from your toes to your heels so you can really feel every tendon. Make sure that there's no pain. And if there is any pain, that's where we want to focus on a little bit. So find that spot that's a little bit tender. I'm going to push down on it for about 10 seconds. And get that trigger point. All right, and relax. Okay. All right, very good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start this video. So sit tight, enjoy. Like I said, it's about 10 minutes long. So let me know, Debbie, once I start the video, if you could give me a thumbs up if you hear it, or thumbs down if you don't. Thank you. And I do watch a lot of Saturday Night Live videos, so that's why you're gonna see a lot of them on the side panel. So just a heads up. Can you hear it now, Debbie, if I play it?
We don't hear anything.
Still? Okay, let me.
There's, just so you know, if you click on your like little toolbar there,
Yeah.
There's a little section that says more, and then there's one that says share computer sound. So click on that.
There you go. Thank you.
Alert.
Now you hear it?
If you haven't already subscribed, make sure and click. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Joe, and today I'm going to show you my top 5 sciatica stretches for Piriformis syndrome. So let's get started. Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure and click on the button down there. So these specific stretches are for sciatica when it's entrapped or pressed on with that piriformis muscle. So this is a little different if it's coming from the herniated disc or a disc issue. This is that piriformis muscle right on the butt area there. And that sciatic nerve runs right under it. So when this muscle is irritated or not working properly, a lot of times it can push on that nerve. So the first stretch is just going to be lying down on your back, and it's going to be a figure 4 stretch. So with this one, you can lie on the floor, you can lie on your bed, you can lie on the couch. So if you have a hard time getting up off the floor, lie on something else. Don't get on the floor and then not be able to get back up. So take the side that you want to stretch and cross it over where your ankle's just above the knee on your thigh area. And the reason it's called a figure 4 is because if you look down, it looks like a 4. So with this, for some people, just getting in this position, if that piriformis is really tight, you're going to feel that stretch, and that's fine. You can just hold the stretch right here. If you want just a little bit more of a stretch, you can take your heel of the other foot and slide it closer to your bottom, and that will start getting a little bit more stretch right through there. If you still need a little more of a stretch, take your hands and grab the other leg and just gently pull it towards you. So this is a pretty big stretch right here. You want to be able to hold it for 30 seconds. So if it's too much, come back off of it just a little bit. Now, if you're really tight and you're having a hard time trying to grab underneath your leg there, you can take a belt or a strap or something and wrap it down there and then just pull your leg up that way. If this is still a hard position for you to get into, I'll show you a different way to do it at the end, so stay tuned for that. So for the stretches, you want to do them, you want to hold it for 30 seconds and do 3 of those. Even if you just have one side that's bothering you, I would really stretch both sides just to keep everything even. So after you do that one, then you're going to do another piriformis stretch that's called the knee to opposite shoulder. So I still kind of get in that figure 4 starting position. Not everybody does. I feel like it's just a little bit easier. This time, take your opposite hand and grab that knee, and you want to pull that knee up and over like it's going towards your opposite shoulder. So not just over across your body, but you're going up and over. So again, you should be feeling a stretch kind of through that bottom area right there. Sometimes it's a little bit different than that figure 4, so that's why I think it's important to try both. If one feels better than the other, you don't have to do both, but I do feel like it stretches it just a little bit differently. So you can just hold it with one hand. Some people, if they have a lot of flexibility, kind of like to grab and hug onto that side. You can do that as well. Some people even feel a little bit better having that other leg down. As long as it doesn't irritate your low back, that's okay. So you want to get in a position that's comfortable and gives you the best stretch. So again, you're holding that stretch 30 seconds, doing it 3 times. I really do recommend doing it on each side. So the next one, you're going to kind of sit up a little bit. The leg that you want to stretch, you're going to bend it up and place it over towards the other side. So one leg's out, the one you want to stretch is bent up and over. And then you're just going to twist your body to take the elbow to the outside of that knee. So you're just coming over and twisting this way. So I'm getting that little bit of stretch here. I'm also getting a stretch in my trunk area. So if that tends to bother your back for some reason, you might want to hold off on this one. Sometimes when you have that sciatica, even if it's from the piriformis, your back is a little sore, so this might actually feel pretty good. So definitely up to you, holding that stretch again for 30 seconds and then doing 3 on each side. So just crossing over and then twisting this way. So again, if you feel like you need your back to stretch a little bit, that's great. If not, then you might want to just try the other ones. So the fourth one is going to be kind of a modified pigeon stretch. A lot of times people tell me the pigeon stretch is a little bit too much for them, so that's fine. You can do it in a modified position. The pigeon stretch is kind of a yoga pose, and it is pretty intense. So for the modified one, the side you want to stretch, you're going to put in front of you. I'm going to turn towards the camera a little bit so you can see it. You want to have your hip going forward this way, your thigh hip area, and then your knee bent at a 90-degree angle kind of in front of you. Then you're going to take that back leg and put it back behind you. So you can see here that I'm kind of almost a 90-degree angle here, and then almost a 90-degree angle there. So getting into this position might be a little uncomfortable, depends on how flexible you are. With the full pigeon, you take this leg and go straight back, so that's even a lot more. A lot of times people can get in this position, but make sure you have your leg kind of straight here. If it's tucked up behind you, it's not quite the same stretch. You're going to feel it more on this side, but you're trying to get the stretch on this side. So once you get into this position, keep your upper body straight forward and then just lean in a little bit this way. And you should feel that stretch underneath the bottom area right where that piriformis is. So again, this might be a difficult position to get into. It might not be. You might feel a lot. You might not feel a lot. So again, the more you bend forward, the more of a stretch you're going to feel. So hold that stretch for 30 seconds. Come off of it. I like switching sides just to give the other side a break, and then do 3 on each side. So the last one is going to be sitting in a chair. This is the one I was talking about, that if you can't really do it very well lying down, you can do it sitting in a chair. So the last stretch is going to be a seated figure 4 stretch. So it's the same kind of motions as when you're lying down. Take the leg that you want to stretch and cross it over where your ankle's just above your knee on your thigh. And this time, you're going to keep your back straight, but you're going to bend forward at your hip. So that's where it's different. You're not pulling the legs up towards you. You're leaning forward. But make sure you keep your back straight. Sometimes people curl like this and they're like, well, I don't feel anything. But you're getting the stretch from the hips, so that's where you want the movement. So again, some people just in this position might feel that piriformis stretch. If it's really tight and it's pushing on that sciatic nerve, you might feel some just doing this, and it might reproduce that numbness, tingling feeling, but as long as once you stop it goes away, that's all right. But if you need a little bit more, keep that back straight and just lean forward at your hips, and you should feel that stretch right through there, that bottom area at the hip. And then hold that stretch 30 seconds and then do 3 on each side. So there you have it. Those are my top 5 sciatica stretches for piriformis syndrome. If you'd like to help support my channel, click on the link up here, and don't forget to subscribe by clicking down there. And remember, be safe, have fun, and I hope you feel better soon.
All right. So hopefully you guys like that. Like I said, I think for this class, we'll try to incorporate some type of video of that sort. But yeah, it's a lot of those movements we've done, but if you want to go ahead and beyond, you know, you could also continue doing some of the ones that she did as well. But whenever my athletes, you know, have an injury or something and I haven't dealt with it before, I usually look for her videos because, yeah, she's great. She explains it in an easy way, and she has different options to kind of treat certain injuries or, you know, tightness. So, all right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get our yoga mats. So, yep. Let me share that link. Someone requested the link. Let me just put that for you. The chat. So let me copy. Okay, so there's the link if you guys do want to see that again. I know Piriformis is one that, you know, is pretty demanding, so we want to make sure that, you know, we cater to it. So. Get the yoga mat. We're going to start off with the more essential ones, which I think are important, are going to be the quadruped exercises. All right, no worries, Milena. Yeah, follow her. If you guys like her way of explaining, I recommend following her, subscribing to her. Yeah, she's great. So, all right, there's these other 2 gentlemen too that I watched. I think they're called the most famous physical therapists on YouTube. or it could be something of that sort, but they're funny and they teach a lot of good stuff. So okay, so we're just gonna keep our wrists right below our shoulders, our knees right below our hips, and we're just gonna do cat-cow. So inhale, up. Remember, we're looking down the entire time. Exhale, bring that belly button down, and belly button up. Inhale, arch that back, tucking your chin towards your chest. Exhale. Okay, inhale. Exhale. Continue this about 5 times for each motion. Two more. All right, we get to stretch your arms so you can get a little bit tiresome. All right, we're gonna continue. So this next one is called the puppy pose. So again, this one, we want to decide. We do want to keep our hips over our knees, so we don't want to. We're gonna be doing this motion here. Okay, but what we don't want to do is do this here. Okay, or be back here and do this here. You're gonna have those hips right above our knees. And again, reach forward. Drop. You can drop your elbows. And you can rest your head as long as your hips are over your knees. Okay. I'm gonna hold this here for about 30 seconds. Okay. All right, now reset. Okay, so from here in this position, now we're gonna do the rabbit pose, which is we're just gonna come straight back. Okay, we're not arching our back, we're just coming straight back. And then reset again. Okay, this time we're gonna arch our back and do that same movement back. Okay, so arch that back. And now I want you to come back to twist a little bit more in your upper body. You can drop your elbows. Relax. All right, we're gonna shift on over to our right side. Okay. Then we're gonna arch up. And again, bring your glutes towards your heels. Now you should feel the stretch on your left back, your left rib, left side. Again, while keeping your head down. Set. On the left side. Okay. Shift on over, arch up, and drop your glutes towards your heels. Next set. Okay. All right. You guys can remain there. I'm going to continue with some floor exercises. Okay. All right. So you're going to go ahead and do the thoracic stretch. So this one, legs straight out, and almost like the instructor was saying on her video, you want to keep that back straight. So it's not so much about arching your back or reaching for your toes. What I want you to do is focus on bringing your chest towards your knees, okay? Instead of reaching forward, reach down. But try to keep that back straight and also try to control your breathing. The more relaxed you are, the more you'll notice your stretch come down. So I usually like grabbing by my shins and just continue to breathe, relax. And slowly I start reaching further down my shin. And I almost try to pull my chest towards my knees. Continue that. Hold it for another 20 seconds. Make sure you're reaching down. Relax. Very good. Okay. Get the arm slide long. Okay. This one we haven't done in a bit. Okay, this one's called thread the needle. Just gonna fix the camera real quick. So this one, you're gonna be in this position here. So I have my right leg out. Okay, left arm is elevated. The right arm is back here. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring this left arm through this little gap, wrap it around, and then turn, and that right arm comes up towards the sky. I wanna look at it, and I wanna reach that. Go back, okay. So you should feel that stretch on your back. All right, we're gonna do that 5 times per side. And again, just control it, wrap around, grab a hold of your thigh, and change your view to your other hand. Okay, so both our arms are moving at the same time. One is grabbing a hold of our thigh, and the other one's moving up towards the sky. And again, your hands, your eyes should be following your palms. Whew. It's a lot of work. Last one. Whew. Very good. Yeah, this is one of those stretches where, you know, people might say yoga's easy, and then you do stuff like this and you start becoming sore in areas you've never been sore at. All right, so now my left knee is in front of me. Right hand is in front here. Again, I want to transition. Stop that one. Okay. All right, we do want to do some of the essential ones, which is the book openers. Okay. So before we get to that one, I want to get in that Superman position. And I just want to tuck in on, just camera. So just belly down. Right here. And then I'm just going to tuck in my elbows to my side, elevate. I want to keep my elbows below my shoulders. All right, once you're feeling good about that, your hands come in that same spot, and now you're going to push up. Keeping your legs flat on the floor. I think I told you guys I was going to the DMV yesterday. I was only there for 40 minutes. That was amazing. So it helps make an appointment. In the appointment line, I was the first person there, and the non-appointment line had about 15 people. All right, so relax. Whew. Okay, very good. All right, so we're gonna get on our backs. I said this is one that takes a little bit longer. I wish we could do it more. Maybe we will sometimes, but this is the book opener. So again, essential for back injuries. We're gonna get in that clamshell position, but with this hand sticking out. Okay, so we're gonna start here, resting, and then we're gonna open up. And without elevating or shifting our hips and our legs off the ground, we're just rotating that arm out to the side. 4. Good. And we're going to do 10 on each side. Good. Once you've done that, let's switch sides. And go ahead. I think I went a little bit too fast on these. Gotta slow it down. Once you're ready, switch sides. Again, give me 10. And make sure your shoulder, both of them are flat, possible for each movement. All right. And the next one, it's a similar movement, but it's going to be knee drops. So you kind of get in this crunch position. Try not to cross your legs. And we're just, without our shoulders or our back being off the ground, we're just going to try to drop our knees up to the side and then reset. Okay. So this is working out similar muscle groups around our hips as the last stretch. So we're just doing it by moving different body parts. So we're just going to do 5 drops on each side. Relax. Okay. All right, so we're going to try one of the stretches, one of the Piriformis stretches that she did on the video. I know we've done it before where we get it here and then we rock back. But this one, she did one that's not as demanding. So again, let's bring our leg across and then just comfortably get yourself in that position. You can rest back. And if you don't feel it too much, try to bring your heel closer to your hips or closer to your glutes. And you could also feel it a little bit more if you push on that knee, almost how we push on when we're on that chair. If you're pushing on that knee, you might feel it a little bit more. I personally don't feel the stretch too much in this position. I don't know about you folks, but again, it is doing some of the stretch. Maybe if you're really tight, you might feel it a little bit more, but I don't feel it so much. And the more away from you it is, the more relaxed it is. So again, you're gonna feel it more if that heel is closer to you. Okay, so now we're going to switch. So again, from here, you could just actually do this thing down, and then you could bring that heel closer to you. So again, if your piriformis is really tight, and your sciatic nerve hurts, and again, your sciatic nerves, you know, could influence a lot of sensations throughout the body, but a lot of it could be fixed here. So again, if you're not feeling it so much, maybe you could push that knee away from your body. Very good, relax. Next one, we're just gonna do, this is one we used to do a lot before. Kind of stopped it, but that video we just watched kind of sparked it all over again. So she didn't have a name for it, but I would call it the 90-90 stretch. We used to do this one before. So again, we're gonna come and get in this position here. So pretty much almost like our first stretch where we went on our cool down. But this time, I want to have this position here. You line it up with the camera so it looks more accurate. So here I'm upright. I have a 90-degree angle right here from my heel to my knee to my hip. It's 90 degrees. And then on my back leg, I also want to have a similar 90 degrees. So heel to knee to hip should be 90. So 90 here and also 90 here, okay? And then this doesn't do anything for you if you're leaning off to the side. So you want to make sure that you're upright. And if you can't hold yourself up, you could always put your hand there. We're just going to be in this pose for about 30 seconds. And again, you should feel a stretch on that inner thigh, hip flexors. And I think I mentioned in the past that this is a stretch that I have some of my hurdle athletes do a lot because, you know, when they're going over the hurdle, this would be the position with this leg being forward, of course, but this is where you want that flexibility to happen. Okay, let's switch. And I'm starting to recruit again. So if you guys have any friends or sons or daughters or grandkids or that are doing cross country that want to run at the next level, let me know. Because I'll be recruiting today in Long Beach. There's a lot of kids competing today out there, so. This side is more relaxed than the other one. My left side is tighter than my right. Notice. And if you guys want to go out and support, I believe on October 29th, my team will be competing at Miles Square Park in Johnson Valley, which is not too far from Santa Ana. So yeah, so we'll be out there if you guys ever want to see our team compete. All right, and let's relax. And kind of stretch those legs out a little bit to feel like they were such in awkward positions that they might feel a little bit funky for the next few minutes. All right, great. Very good. All right, well, thanks for joining. Hopefully you guys had a good session. If you guys like those videos, give me a thumbs up. We could continue to incorporate that. Debbie's like, no more videos. So, but thanks, Christine, I appreciate it. But yeah, any questions before we head out?